Jackie, it's so good to be back with you again to talk about leadership in this pandemic and some things that leaders may be interested to hear to help them lead through this time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Last time we introduced the idea of self-care and how leaders are not doing a great job. Maybe I shouldn't say leaders are not doing a great job. Let me say that it has come to our attention that this is an area that leaders are not paying as much attention to as they could.
Yeah, or that some leaders are struggling with it.
Yes,
absolutely.
So let's just talk about a few things that they can do. What's something that you believe would be helpful for leaders?
One of the things I think is so helpful is having an accountability and support partner. So what we know from the research is that support and accountability are critical to goal achievement and to care for self. And so having somebody that we can check in with, so we're not just carrying stuff with us, because we all have blind spots. And sometimes we are doing things that are maybe working at cross purposes for ourselves. And having a little feedback can be helpful. How about you?
I would say listening to that feedback and then committing to doing one thing every day that is self-care. Now, you'll have to identify for yourself what that self-care thing is, but make a commitment to do one thing. Maybe it takes 60 seconds, maybe it takes an hour. It's up to you, but make a commitment to yourself. That's one thing I think that everyone can do. What's something else that you know?
Well, so piggyback off of that, one of the sayings I love is commit to the smallest part. So when we want to change something, we might wish that we could do, let's say, I wish I could do, an hour's worth of exercise, for instance, without stopping. And if I can't get to an hour, then I just forget it all. I chuck it. And so instead saying, what's the smallest part I can do so that it not only helps set me up for the mindset for success, but it also works with the brain, because it triggers to the brain that this is a direction I want to move in. So in addition then to identifying something, then what's the smallest part I can commit to changing, which is a step beyond the identification, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so back to you. What do you think? Anything else?
Yeah, I've got one more. When you make that commitment to that small thing that you're going to do, celebrate it when you've done it.
Yes.
It is a big deal. If you've not been paying attention to how you're taking care of yourself, if you do one thing, one small thing even, take a moment, give yourself the proverbial pat on the back. Feel good about it. That's going to give you the motivation to do even more.
Yep.
You have any more, Jackie?
The last thing that I would say is checking in with yourself. Even if it's just for a moment at multiple times during the day. If you think of your car, if you're going to take a long journey somewhere, or a journey that's going to be 8 or 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is, you're going to check to see, do I have enough gas to get there? Do I have enough oil? Do I have everything I need to be able to get there safely? And so our bodies, our minds, our spirits are similar. And so checking in with self to see, what do I need? And do I have enough capacity to make it to the end of the journey, whether the journey is for the day or the journey is for the evening, whatever it is. And then if the answer is, I don't know, or the answer is maybe, or the answer is no or yes, then inquiring just a little more. If it's an I don't know, well, what would it take for me to know? If the answer is no, then maybe the question is, what is it that I need? And if the answer is yes, then how much do I have to get for how far? So that's what I would say.
Okay. The last thing I'd offer is take the advice that you give to your employees.
Oh, yes.
I know that we know from the research, And you can Google leadership and find in the pandemic and find so much on what leaders are doing to support and help their employees, groups and teams. Take some of your own advice. This is a challenging time we're experiencing now. So in order to get through it together, take advantage of that. Get through it together.
Yes.
Thank you, Jackie, for joining me yet again to share some leadership tips on self-care. And thank you for watching. We'll be back.